Ever loved somebody so much you forgot who you were? Ever sat in your own house feeling like a guest? Yeah, me too. Before we dive in, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with anyone who might need to hear it. Your support keeps these stories alive. All right. Let's talk about the day I finally stopped trying to fix someone who didn't want to be fixed. I met Walter when I was 24. He was charming in that movie star kind of way. Clean haircut, confidence for days, could talk his way out of a traffic ticket. I was young, hopeful, and thought confidence meant safety. At first it was cute stuff, him ordering for me at dinner, saying he knew what I liked. Then it became not so cute stuff, like checking my phone, commenting on my clothes, asking who texted me. And when I'd say, "Babe, chill, it's just my friend Sarah," he'd smirk and say, "I just care about you, that's all." That line, "I just care about you," was his favorite cover for control. Months turned into years, and my world got smaller. I stopped hanging with friends because it made him feel left out. I quit yoga because the instructor was a guy and men can't be trusted. He even started managing our money for convenience. If you've ever been in that kind of relationship, you know it doesn't happen overnight. It's slow, like water dripping on stone until it carves a hole, and you start thinking that hole is normal. One night, he came home in a bad mood, slammed the door so hard the picture frames rattled. I asked if everything was okay. He said, "You wouldn't understand." Then he stared at the dinner I made, his favorite spaghetti, and said, "You never do anything right." That night, I cried in the bathroom, sitting on the edge of the tub, scrolling through old photos of me laughing with friends. I didn't even recognize that girl. Next morning, he brought me coffee like nothing happened. That's how they keep you. Apology gifts and good morning kisses that rewrite last night. I told myself, everyone fights. He's stressed. He loves me. I built a whole defense case for the man tearing me down. The real turning point came 2 years later. We were at a friend's birthday dinner. I told a story about how we met, and everyone laughed, except Walter. He leaned close and whispered, "You make me sound pathetic." When we got home, he exploded, not hitting, just yelling, pacing, listing every mistake I'd ever made. By the end, I was apologizing for breathing too loud. That night, I started keeping a notebook, dates, what he said, how it made me feel. At first, I thought it was just journaling, but really, it was me documenting my own survival. Fast forward another year. I'd gotten so used to the tension that silence felt safer than peace. If he wasn't mad, I was waiting for him to be. Then came the morning I finally woke up. Sunday. Sun pouring through the blinds. I was frying eggs, humming, trying to start the day calm. He walked in, looked at the table, and said, "You made bacon?" "You know I'm off pork now," I said. "Sorry, I forgot." He grabbed the plate and smashed it in the sink. That crash was louder than the dishes. It was the sound of me realizing I couldn't live another day like that. He stormed off. I stood there, shaking, staring at the mess, thinking, if I stay, this ends with me disappearing. That night, after he passed out watching TV, I packed one suitcase. No jewelry, no fancy stuff, just clothes, my notebook, and a photo of me before him. I got in the car and drove. Didn't even know where I was going, just away. First stop was a 24-hour diner. I sat there for hours, nursing a cup of coffee and Googling shelters. That's how I found the Haven Women's Center, 2 towns over. I called. The lady on the phone said, "Come in tomorrow. We'll help you start fresh." That call changed everything. Louise, the woman who ran the place, was this tough love angel. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "You don't have to explain why you left. You just have to promise not to go back." For the first time in forever, somebody believed me. I got a tiny apartment through their program, 1 room, cracked paint, rent so low it felt like charity. But it was mine. My name on the lease, my key, my freedom. At first, freedom felt weird. I'd still flinch when I dropped something, waiting for him to yell. I'd check my phone expecting angry texts that never came. Healing, I learned, isn't instant. It's 1,000 small moments of unlearning fear. I started therapy. My counselor handed me a list of words I hadn't said in years. Self-worth, boundaries, choice. She said, "You're allowed to take up space." That hit me hard because I hadn't realized how small I'd made myself. Months later, Walter sent me an email. He said he was sorry, that he'd been under pressure, that maybe we could meet. For a second, I almost replied. Then I read my old notebook, page after page of proof that sorry didn't mean safe. I hit delete. And I swear, the silence after deleting that message was the loudest piece I've ever heard. I got a job at a local library. I'd shelve books, help kids with homework, and in between, I'd write little sticky note reminders to myself. You deserve calm. You are not broken. You can start over at any age. Those notes turned into journal entries. Those journals turned into stories like this one. And now here I am, talking to you. If you're sitting there listening, and something in your gut feels familiar, if you've been walking on eggshells, apologizing for things that aren't your fault, please hear me. You are not crazy, and you are not alone. Starting over sounds brave when other people say it, but living it day to day, that's a whole different grind. Freedom doesn't mean instant happiness. It means learning how to breathe without permission. The first few months alone were quiet, too quiet. I'd wake up in that tiny apartment and think, okay, now what? The silence that used to scare me started to feel like peace in training. I learned small routines. Saturday farmer's market, Sunday coffee on the balcony, Tuesday movie nights by myself. Little rituals that said, this is my life now, and I'm allowed to enjoy it. Therapy helped. So did writing. My counselor told me to write letters I'd never send, so I did. I wrote to the version of me who thought love was supposed to hurt. I wrote to Walter, telling him what he took and what he couldn't keep, and I wrote to the woman I wanted to become. Each letter ended the same way. I'm proud of you for leaving. I started volunteering at the same women's center that helped me escape. The first night I sat in their group circle, listening to other survivors share their stories, I realized how many of us were walking around pretending everything was fine. Different towns, same pain. One woman said, "You never hit me, so I didn't think it counted." I told her, pain doesn't need bruises to be real. That became my motto. I also found out I was pretty good at talking to people, helping them see what took me years to understand. The counselors asked me to start leading workshops about emotional abuse and boundaries. Me. The woman who once apologized for existing. Funny how your worst chapter can become someone else's survival guide. Around that time, I reconnected with my old friend Sarah, the one Walter hated. She hugged me so tight I thought my ribs would crack. We picked up like we never left off. Girls' nights, road trips, way too much ice cream. She reminded me what laughter sounded like when it wasn't followed by tension. Then came the part that really tested me. Walter showed up at the library one afternoon. Clean-cut, soft-spoken, carrying a bouquet. My heart stopped for a second. He said, "Martha, I just wanted to talk." Every cell in my body screamed, "Run!" But instead, I took a breath and said, "There's nothing left to talk about." He looked shocked, like he expected the old me, the apologetic one. I told him, "I wish you peace, but I'm not your story anymore." Then I walked away. No drama, no tears, just closure. That was the day I realized healing isn't about revenge. It's about reclaiming your peace and refusing to hand it over again. The years that followed were surprisingly good. I traveled a little, nothing fancy, just weekend trips to the coast. I learned to swim, took painting classes, even adopted a dog named Benny who thinks he owns the couch. Every morning I'd walk Benny through the park and think, this is what safety feels like. No shouting, no fear, no pretending, just quiet joy. I started sharing my story online, blogs, small podcasts, local talks. At first it was nerve-wracking. My voice would shake, hands sweaty. But every time I finished, someone would come up and whisper, "That's my story too." That's why I do this now, why I tell you these things here on Voice of Aunt Martha. Because stories are lifelines. They remind us we're not alone. Let me tell you something important I learned along the way. Red flags don't turn green just because you ignore them. And love without respect is just possession in disguise. If a relationship costs you your peace, your friends, your laughter, it's too expensive. To anyone listening who's stuck in something toxic, start planning your way out. Document everything. Save a little money. Reach out to someone you trust, a friend, a counselor, a hotline. Don't wait for it to get better. You deserve better now. Healing doesn't mean you forget what happened. It means the memories stop controlling you. I still remember the girl I used to be, quiet, nervous, constantly checking the temperature of someone else's moods. And I still talk to her sometimes. I tell her, "We made it out." Now when I teach workshops or record these videos, I think about that moment years ago, the plate hitting the wall, the sound that changed my life. I used to hate that memory. Now I see it as the sound of my rebirth, because sometimes breaking is what sets you free. So if you've listened all the way to the end, thank you. Thank you for giving me your time, your heart, your ears. If this story hit home for you, please like, share, and subscribe to Voice of Aunt Martha. Leave a comment down below and tell me what part spoke to you most. Or share your own story, because somebody else might need to hear it. And remember, sweet friend, love should never make you smaller. Real love helps you breathe easier, laugh louder, and sleep without fear. Until next time, take care of your heart, keep your boundaries strong, and never forget, you are worth the peace you're chasing.